Hey guys, so Doom Eternal launched update number 1 a couple of days ago that was meant to balance some things in the multiplayer, some fixes in the campaign, and add some new features into the game. Features like an anti-cheat for multiplayer and soon invasion mode on single player. Some hours after the update, players all around the globe began noticing and reporting dips in their game's performance, and that the anti-cheat came with a kernel level driver that had ring 0 access to your whole operating system. Because of that, a huge outrage has begun in the community. People are review bombing the game on Steam, and some are asking for refunds, and even some are actually talking about filing a class action lawsuit against the developers of the game, which is actually ridiculous, but let's talk about that. If you want to know everything about Doom, consider subscribing and leave a like. Enjoy. So I'm gonna tackle this topic as subjective as I can. I will take the side of truth and logic, and I ask you to do the same. Let's talk about the dips in performance some people have been experiencing so far in the game. In few words and in conclusion, the general consensus is that people have experienced massive FPS dips even though they have a beefy computer rig, game crashes after a few minutes of launching the application, and some users report that the game wouldn't even launch from Steam or the Bethesda launcher. Some AIs like the Pain Elemental have showed a weird behavior, staying in one place and not attacking the player, and some users report that they cannot even find games in multiplayer, and when they do, the game crashes. Those are the game bugs that have made the most noise since the update, but the reality of it is that it's not for everyone. In my experience, ever since the update, my game runs smoother. I get more consistent frames, I haven't encountered latency problems in multiplayer at all, and my game has only crashed once because I didn't update my Nvidia GPU driver, but when I did, my game ran better. In my experience, my game runs better and smoother, and there's a lot of people in the community that think the same way and have backed these statements with facts, videos, whatever. So what's happening? I mean, if a large portion of the community says that their game runs worse after the update, then that's because something is definitely broken, something that must be fixed and will be fixed. Look, I talk with people inside the industry, inside its software, and they know what's happening and they are hard at work to fix it. Yes, this new update definitely broke something in the game that wouldn't let some players play the game like they used to in launch, but what I cannot withstand is some users forgetting that behind all that hard work in the update and the game, there is a human being, an employee, a worker that is sacrificing time of his life for your entertainment. Everywhere you go, whether it being your house, at school, at work, in business, restaurants, the military, whatever, everything that is being produced by a human being, which is basically everywhere in the world, will be accountable for human error. Everything. I am an engineer. I understand this concept religiously. It's always going to happen, and it doesn't matter how smart and capable you are, somewhere down the line you are going to mess up. It is inevitable, and players, users, the consumer needs to understand this. And this is where we jump into the Denuvo situation. Look, I am not going to pretend that I am a super intellectual person when it comes to computer security and computer science overall, because I am not. Basically, my knowledge of computer science comes down to watching Linus Tech Tips and some ordinary gamers, or Muda for short. With that being said, I do understand the repercussions of having an anti-cheat that has more privileges than you on your own computer. No game should have this level of access on your computer. Period. I do not want this to become a trend with video games. We began with Valorant and their Vanguard anti-cheat, and we are now moving to Doom Eternal and Denuvo. With that being said, Denuvo's anti-cheat is way less intrusive than Valorant. Valorant's anti-cheat starts running when you turn on your computer, all the way until you turn it off. Denuvo, in the other hand, has stated that their anti-cheat only loads when Doom Eternal is running, and that it only analyzes data within the multiplayer. They have also stated that they are working on a patch so that you can run the game offline without having to load Denuvo. So for all the players that were angry, and rightfully so, that they had to install malware on their computer just to play single player, have now a solution in the works. Now, should Doom Eternal have no anti-cheat at all? Absolutely not. Having an anti-cheat in every multiplayer game is a must, and even more where the game is going to have competitive mode. Doom Eternal having an anti-cheat is a step in the right direction. Unfortunately, it was implemented the wrong way. Again, human error is always going to be present. Having an application that has that level of access to your computer means that in theory, your data can be compromised, which is not a good thing. But look, let's be real here. I've seen all over Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, people freaking out that Bethesda is once again trying to F them over with this anti-cheat solution, and that Bethesda will compromise their data so that they can buy all the versions of Skyrim possible. In reality, nor id Software, nor Bethesda, nor ZeniMax could care less about what to do with your data. What we must be careful for is, of course, a hacker. Someone with true malicious intent to F the community over and crack rights into server. And this is the thing that worries me. Remember the thing I said about human error accountability? You can be the grand master of coding and computer security, but somewhere down the line in your millions of lines of code, there will be a crack, a little splinter that someone with true malicious intent will be able to take advantage of and have access to the server. Is it going to happen? Probably not. It all comes down to how much you trust the people behind it. Again, having an anti-cheat in Eternal is a step in the right direction, but something must be done about the anti-cheat having such a high level of access to your computer and data. Having a kernel level driver component in your anti-cheat is the lazy way out. With that being said, I have another big problem, and it's not towards the game, but towards a select group of people that play it. When all this problem began, I saw people harassing developers of the game, downplaying their efforts and being borderline asses towards the people that work in the game, promoting piracy, ways to get a refund of the game even though you have 200 plus hours in the game already, and talking about suing the company because of the Denuvo anti-cheat. This problem has been completely blown out of proportion because of people that all they do in the community is incentivize and plant the seeds of panic that ultimately lead to complete chaos. Problems that shouldn't be a problem of this level at all get to this level because of people like this. People that all they do is incentivize panic, and panic is not always good. Panic spreads like a disease. Panic is one of the worst diseases you can have in a community. There's a lot of misinformation floating around social media, a lot of misunderstandings, and a lot of people that want to take advantage of this mistake to be compensated with cash money. And I get it, it's the internet. I was a troll too. I was part of the golden days of voice chat in Modern Warfare 2 and Halo 3. I have a master's degree of being a troll online, but I do understand that what I was doing was just a game between friends and players. And look, I am not trying to morally grandstand. I don't. I've made mistakes as well. I have made a ton of mistakes as well in my life and in the past, whatever. And I've learned from them. What I'm trying to say with all of this is, do not be a sheep that hops into the hate wagon. Always have a critical mind. Approach things objectively, and if at the end of the day you strongly believe that what they did was wrong and you want to hate on them, bro, be my guest, brother. It's your right, but do not do it only because everyone does it. Doom Eternal is a great game with absolutely great people behind it, and they do not deserve the kind of treatment they have been getting because of this mistake. I love this community and I do not want it to become hell. I mean, we are supposed to kill hell, not be part of it. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.